she still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Zhang Weili is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of Axe Cake Picks, episode 180, presented by Viva Tequila Seltzer. A little more on them in just a little, but today is June 6th, Friday, 2025, and it is a fucking scorcher out here in the Northeast, kid. 90 today. How about you?
Yeah, it rained like crazy, and it's just a heat box. It's a greenhouse down here, my boy.
Yeah,
gearing up for some baseball. You know what I mean? College baseball is in full force. The super regionals.
Who's Coastal got?
They got a tough one. They got to take Auburn, but they were just down in Alabama, so maybe they're gonna be used to that travel. You know,
who's the favorite? Auburn.
I'll be pulling for them. Yeah, obviously they're ranked 4. Coastal's ranked 13, but a little disrespect for Coastal. They have the most wins in the country, so I'll be rooting them. I think the Tar Heels just destroyed Zona earlier. So,
did they have a Mickey Mouse schedule though?
Who?
Coastal.
No, they played Tar Heels. They played some big schools. You
Vanderbilt?
You talk about disrespect. They're disrespecting the Sun Belt. They had more teams than the SEC in the regional.
Wow.
So let's talk about that, huh?
Wow, I love it. Are you going to a game or is it down in Alabama?
They're in Alabama. I went to the clincher, game 6. They didn't lose a single game here in Conway, so I'll be rooting them all the way through. I saw some fights this morning. One Friday Fights 111 was on. ACA was also. If you want to, tune in tonight, I know we keep you packed in some action. One Fight Night 32 will showcase along with CFFC 143. And then, hey, if you need more fights after 316 on Sunday, Brave CF 96 will be on.
I'm looking at the odds right now for the series, minus 155 for Auburn, plus 121 for Coastal. But for tonight, 9 p.m., minus 155, plus 121. Totals at 10.5, kid. Let's go, Coastal.
Let's go. Yeah, man.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe, we got a great episode for everyone today. Loaded fucking weekend. We'll recap UFC Vegas 107. What a shit show that was. UFC 316 in Brick City, Newark, New Jersey. 25 of the 26 athletes did make weight. Andre Da Silva, she did miss weight by 6 pounds at 132. The fight is still on. Instead of 20%, she will be fined 30%.
Kong is getting wrestled tomorrow. No.
And we got a lot of boxing. Fabio Worley. We got Keyshawn Davis. We got
He missed weight now.
4.3 pounds. And he got stripped. And De Santos is the only one that could compete for the WBO lightweight world title tomorrow night. So
I don't know if David's gonna lose in his backyard.
And that's the fucked up part. They made it in his backyard, and you miss weight. He did come out and say he's getting too heavy for the weight class, so it's unfortunate. But we got Junto Nakatana. He's in my top 10. So he'll be fighting on the 8th as well. J.O. Patalia is fighting in Broadbeach, Australia, and down under.
Gold Coast.
We got Money in the Bank coming up next. I think it's Saturday. I think it's Saturday night as well. So we got a lot, and then we'll end it in BKFC 75. Joey will take us home there. But kid, real quick, I guess we could talk about Erin Blanchfield, Macy Barber. All jokes aside, though, thank God Macy Barber is okay. I know a lot of people want to play doctor and speculate what was going on. She doesn't even know. She said they had the music. They said Erin came out and said, "Hey, 5 minutes to walk." Like it really got down to the nitty gritty, and then just. We don't know if she collapsed. She hasn't revealed anything, but all she remembered was warming up and then being in the back of the ambulance. So she's gotten MRI, she's gotten CT scans, she's going for blood tests.
And then at the back of the line.
In all seriousness, I just hope she gets her health, because when she is fighting,
she needs to take a year off.
She is a top 5 fighter in that weight. And, I understand Erin Blanchfield, the emotions running high. But let's be honest. I don't think everything that Erin Blanchfield said was accurate. Is that fair to say?
I'm gonna not answer. I'm against it. I don't like that. I don't know. I like the response from Erin Blanchfield. Because it was all trash talk coming from Macy, And
Yeah, but someone is actually no one's ducking the fight. She literally was not medically cleared to fight.
fine.
There's
That's
just a
fine.
big difference.
But you can see the priorities where they lie. You know, tit job, missing weight right before your fight. Yeah, I can see the priorities not in line. So that's why back at the line you go. Arman Tsarukyan, we've seen it in the past. We've seen it for those that slap opportunities in the face. And if you don't you take advantage of it, you lose out. So yeah, she's granted she's ranked number 5, but this was a main event right before a pay-per-view. This was a big shot for her to gain some eyes. And I don't think
I don't know what Aaron is talking about. She got her show, she got the win, she got 20% of Macy's purse. So she should show she should show some class. Someone almost lost their life. That it is a big difference. Like calling someone unprofessional and everything.
Well, that's what it is, though. That's my point, is that Maycee Barber is showing that she has her priorities on a line. She's
why? Because she got a tit job?
Yeah, and her social media and all that. And that
has nothing to do
missing
with
weight and then everything that occurred after it, you kind of reap what you sow. So that's there was bad blood, and Erin Blanchfield may have said some harsh things, but she has every right to do so. And Maycee Barber's gonna have to fight her way back. So I wish her nothing but the best there. But I don't think you're gonna get any. You're not gonna get any tears from me. So
yeah, unfortunate what happened. But the main event was Mateusz Gamrot and Ludovic Klein. Mateusz Gamrot, he got a little tired there in the third round, but he wound up winning unanimous decision over Ludovic Klein.
You called it, bro. It was like a classic Gamrot performance, right? Just took everything away from Klein. We didn't get to see that Mr. Highlight we all know and love, or for those that don't know, would have been exposed to. So I do feel like you're not expected to be the main event. And then literally last second, we had the commentators laughing on each other's shoulders because the fight, they were literally playing the video package, weren't they, before the walkout?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was completely all for naught. So yeah, it took the energy right out of the room.
Billy Ray Goff, what a disappointing. Great submission. Plus 310.
Oh yeah, bro. And we hit the submission.
Yeah, so great submission there. He did get the performance of the night as well. Who I really feel bad for is Dustin Jacoby. Guess the only knockout on the card and doesn't get a performance bonus.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
He should have got it at least, right?
Yeah.
Or you could have said the submission, but damn, man, that's rude. How rude.
Yeah. Caitlin Vieira, unanimous decision win over Macy Chiasson.
Macy ain't it.
I'll say this, kid. These Apex cards, they're drag because it was on linear TV, so they had to take commercial break. I'm sitting here. I went out. I walked Albus. I'm making myself food. I'm sitting here like, the fight still didn't start between Dustin Jacoby and Bruno Lopez. Like, let's move. It should be law. Apex cards prelims start at like 3 o'clock.
Good pacing. Yeah, in the afternoon as well. Yeah, earlier start times.
Now, honestly, it's better when it's on ESPN Plus because they don't have to hit the commercial fees and everything. So, yeah, it was a drag, if I'm being honest. Shout out Zachary Reese. Yeah. We didn't get there with the knockout, but he did unanimous decision win over Dusko.
What are your thoughts on that fight prior between Nascimento and Fili? It was Close, but did Nascimento?
I thought Allen won, honestly. I thought he rounds 1 and 3. I thought Filio won round 2, but it was just because it was unanimous doesn't mean it wasn't close.
No. I saw that to a T. They were fairly close to contested, and I saw going over was a great pick. Fight to go to distance. You guys could have made money on that any which way. And if you picked him to decision, hey, even more for you.
Shout out Jordan Levitt. He got a performance night bonus as well. Got the submission in the very first round. Kurt Holloway got to go.
Wait, was he the only one? Was Levitt the only one to get performance bonus?
No, we just talked about the other guy who submitted Billy Ray Goff.
He did get one, but not Jacoby with the only knockout of the night, not a performance bonus. Damn, man.
And fight of the night went to the women, Renee Dos Santos and AC Alina. So that was the fight of
Balaji beat as well.
It was a very disappointing card, if I'm being honest.
It was nightmarish, to be honest. Like you said, the pacing of it all, losing the main event right before the walkouts, it really felt like I was in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, I did go 2-1. Zachary Reese didn't get the knockout, but we do go 2-1, and then 1 no contest, obviously, with the main event. How did you do?
7-7. Does that void it out? Doesn't count as a draw, right? So I mean, I wouldn't
No,
have
you
a
get your
one
you
at
get
the
your
end of the
money
day.
back.
I'm just gonna have a 7-7 record, and that's including 10 seconds left because we hit with the main event in Risen. Roberto de Souza, Satoshi, he got the inside the distance victory.
Nice. All right, kid. Anything else over the weekend before we get into 316?
No, not much.
All
I'm
right.
ready to get into this loaded weekend.
Let's get into it. Before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer. You got to crack those tequila seltzers open now. It's getting fucking hot, boys. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition with only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks. So just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC 316, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at Axe Kick Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, let's get to it. UFC 316 in Brick City. I was just by Newark about a few hours ago. Driving
vibes are good.
home. Vibes are good. Those little posters or those little flags on the light post, they're up already as well. So
Juliana Pena asked for hers. Prudential Center obliged, so they're gonna get her one.
good. Which she
I need
should.
one too, Prue Cedric. Get me.
She's the fucking champ. She's gonna shock the world. Look how Bakula Harrison looked at that way, and oh my god, I cannot
Look
wait.
at it was all smiles.
I
I see us on completely other wavelengths right now for this card. I see it already.
That's good for me. 6 p.m. here on the East Coast. Like I said, only one fight. All fights are still going to go on, but just one fight. Andre Del Silva and Wong Kong will go on, and Kong will get 30% of Del Silva's purse. But Joe, why don't you kick it off?
Catch weight. Cool. Yeah, brother. Marcel Medeiros, this happened before in the past. I don't know if you noticed that at all. He had called out of a fight, and I'm pretty sure he got the call to fight in a pay-per-view last year or the year before. So there's precedent for Marco Medeiros to do this. He's taking on Mark Chewinski, Mark the Shark. I think he's a Rufus Sport, Anthony Pettis kind of guy, Mark the Shark. So he's a ground guy from what I saw. He's a dog price here at plus 185. Medeiros obviously is the favorite with the experience and the striking capabilities at minus 250. This is a lightweight fight that I think is not going to go to the distance, and I don't even think that it'll get past the second round. I think that one of these guys' games is gonna show through. So you're gonna get Medeiros catching Mark the Shark on the end of one of his punches and finishing with the TKO as he does so well. That's most of his finishes are that way, if not all of them. And then Mark the Shark, I think if he can maybe grapple Medeiros, get him to the ground, maybe he can start implementing some of his game plan and find a finish there because most of his finishes have come via submission. So a slight clash of styles here. I'm going with the under 1.5 rounds at plus 250. I'm seeing an early finish, either first or second round. Obviously, we need to meet past there before that 2:30-minute mark in the second round to hit it. But I like the chance to make some plus money at plus 250. Let's get a finish in the first fight of UFC 316. And I got another fight here. This is a lightweight fight. Am I wrong? What are we fighting at here? Quillan Salkid, I'm seeing.
Yeah, lightweight.
Okay, yeah, the Australian is making his way up. I like this kid a lot. Dana White Contender Series alum. I mean, he showcased some great skills there. But the odds are indicating that he's way too much a favorite against Yana Ashmouz, who
Jersey.
He's shown competence. I know he's training out of Jersey. He's got that crazy knockout power. I remember, I don't know if it was his debut. He shocked a lot. He knocked out Sam Patterson, I think, with that vicious hook, man. So his last outing, he did hurt his arm, if you don't recall. So
yeah.
And he lasted.
Still won.
No, did he? I thought he lost.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he won.
But still, the fact that he was hurt and he still was able to make it to the judges just shows his toughness. He shouldn't be a plus 450. I don't think. I think it's closer than what people are expecting. But I think Saul kills the right side. But it's gonna be hard to play him and find a prop out of it. I could play it down the middle and take another total here. So my first two bets of UFC 316 will be totals. I think Salkill will have his way, but now Ashman's being disrespected here, and I think he will be able to at least read the judges' scorecards. Give me the over 2.5 rounds at minus 160.
Yeah, give me Sawkill inside the distance at plus 160. This is one of my favorite
May 3rd, please.
prop plays for the weekend. Sawkill he's as hot as a fresh prospect right now. He's coming off getting a contract on Dana White Contender Series. He had a 19-second knockout. The thing is, though, he's actually much better on the ground than he is with his hands. So I think he should have the advantage here. Yanel is very tough, but I think he puts him to sleep here. Give me Sawkill via inside the distance at plus 160.
Hey, that happened after the 2:30 mark of the 3rd round. I'll be all right. Yep. So the next 2 fights, I don't have any official plays on because, you look at this featherweight matchup, Ju Sang Yu, he is massive favorite. There's a lot of favorites on this card, but minus 450 for a guy making his debut. And I know he's looked really good, the South Korean, and he's taken on a Jeka Saragri who has not. I mean, he's looked really bad. He's looked like a can in the UFC, which they don't allow him to often. But plus 445, some of the people wanted to jump on a dog may want to take it. I think you're just burning money at that point. I think Ju Sang Yu is the right side. I just can't find much value on which prop to take here. And being in the UFC, you could get the jitters. He could let a lot of people down, but I'm going to not touch this with a 10-foot pole. I'm going to stay completely away from this featherweight fight. You have anything?
No, nothing in this.
Yeah, a debuting favorite. We know how that can go sometimes.
Yep.
And here's that missed weight fight that D-Rock talked about. It's wasn't a flyweight division. I think you said catchweight now, right? For the women?
I don't think so. I don't think it is a catchweight. I still think it's not
technically still flyweight, even though you missed by 6 pounds. Lucky you.
I'm professional.
Hey, 30% of my purse. I'll wrestle you all night. But no official play for me between Kong Tong and Ariel Lipski dos Santos. I just think, she's going to want to grapple. I think Tong Tong is going to knock her out if it stays on the feet. It's going to happen sooner or later. You're going to have to probably pick a prop for Kong Tong with that knockout. I think it'd probably be favored for her to just go straight via KO TKO as well. So that's why I didn't take a play here. It's just too chalky for my liking.
I hear you.
So let's go right along into the next fight, man. Chaos Williams is back. Last time he was, I think, in the Apex, but the year prior, 2023, he was at the Prudential Center. So he's used to this arena. He knows how to fight in there, handle the crowd, and he's got explosive knockout power. He's never been finished himself as well in the octagon. And Andreas Gustafsson was supposed to fight last week, wasn't he? Right?
Mm-hmm.
That fight got called out. So, I mean, he's going to have to cut weight sort of 2 weeks in a row, not that the dude might not still be in shape or anything, but we've seen how that can happen in the past. There's precedent for those that have to kind of cut weight on multiple occasions, back-to-back weeks, is not doing Andreas Gustafsson any favor. So I'm not going to be taking that dog price at plus 170. I'm going to hammer Chaos Williams here at minus 180. The Ox fighter, I think, is the right side. I don't think that he's going to get finished in this one, so there could be a split decision robbery if that gets to that. But yeah, I think it's going to be Chaos Williams from the beginning bell. He's either going to knock out Gustafsson in that or he's going to win unanimously. I really think the Ox fighter is the right side.
Give me the newcomer. Give me Gustafsson at plus 160. I got both of these guys. I think they're going to be able to swing, stand up, but I like the way Andres brings the fight a little bit better. He loves to press his opponents against the cage, kind of wear on him a little bit. And in the meantime, he does a lot of damage in the clinch. Chaos Williams, he just much prefers to kind of keep the distance, look to land some straight shots. So I don't like him in this. Should be, I think fight not to go the distance is a good one, but I like Gustafsson here plus 160.
I'll say X Factor. Watch out for Chaos Williams wrestling there. I can't believe you picked Gustafsson. That just shocked Mattel. Let's go to the heavyweight matchup. Sergey Spivak, man, very inconsistent at times, but man, he can walk through some people. But is Elvis's cousin one of those guys? I got to hear your opinion. Where Spivak is a minus 140 and Cortez Acosta is a plus 125. You have a play, I know you do.
Yeah, give me Sergey Spivak minus 140. We're sticking with the money lines here. There's no place I would rather be than play on Sergey. I think he is we don't like to use the L word because there's no such thing, but man, I love the Moldovan right now. I think he's excellent on the ground, and that's just, it's not just with his takedowns. He has submission game as well, and most importantly, he's smart with his game plan. I think his IQ is really good in the octagon. So up against a pure striker with a questionable ground game who we've yet to see be tested, I love Spivak here. I think he just takes him down all fucking 3 rounds. So give me Sergey Spivak -140.
Yeah, and man, I'm on the other side again. Man, 3 for 3, opposite sides. I got Elvis's cousin here. I think on the feet he's going to have the advantage at range, and I actually buffer that. I think you saw in his last outing he's got really good grappling. I think he's been focusing on that, and he could counter wrestle here Spivak. Even though Spivak does ragdoll some big dudes, and Waldo Acosta's throwing 100 is a big dude. Mind you, the Tommy John surgery makes you throw even harder. So bro's probably pumping 105 now. So don't let that fastball come close to your head, Spivak. I'm taking Waldo Cortez Acosta at the dog price. Hey, I got another theory here for you. We're going to be opposite sides on this one again. A light heavyweight matchup. Your boy, Azamat Murzakanov, is a -500 favorite taking on Brendan Ribeiro at +455. D-Rock, I got a curveball for you.
I don't have a play.
Yeah, but I bet you would think I'm going to take Murzakanov based off all the stuff we've seen him before, how he's able to piece up people. I'm going with pure athleticism here. I think Murzakanov is you don't see the athleticism through the body type that he has. But I looked at Brendan Ribeiro, and I think he is just a pure athlete. I know his record indicates that he's going to lose this one. And he's susceptible to get it knocked out or submitted or all this, but I don't know, man. That last outing, him getting that knockout, it does something for some people, and I think it could for him. He could absolutely just shock the crowd and shock the New Jersey native here with a vicious knockout. And mind you, he's about a foot taller than the guy, so reach is going to be massive into this, and pure athleticism I think at play. Taking the +455 underdog, and not too worried about it because I have a losing thought in that one. Murzakanov is a way better fighter. So let's go. What I see is the main event of the prelims here. Very surprising to see these two in the spot. Maybe trying to showcase the flyweights. Thank you, UFC, because this flyweight matchups consist of Bruno Silva, who's just being counted out, +500. Maybe his age, maybe some of the previous, performances may give you this line, but could be some more on Josh Van. Joshua Van is -550, and I think he's the real deal. He's not the type of guy to get you that knockout immediately first round, and the volume may not accumulate into the second round to get there. But you look at his resume, you see Josh Van getting a lot of third round finishes. You look at Bruno Silva, he puts that pressure on a lot of guys early, and if he starts winning a little bit, he does get finished in the third round. So to get that -550 down, I got a little prop bet. It's going to take Josh Van to win in the third round at +900. I'm going to make you some money there for you guys. And he plays for the main event of the prelims.
No.
Let's make our way to the main card. I got to hear the welterweight matchup between Vicente Luque back at home. He said he was born in New Jersey. He trains there, right? He trains in Florida as well. +240. They're counting him out. I know he looked good in his last outing, but Themba Gorimbo, maybe we're a little bit too high on him at the time. Kevin Holland is a vicious striker, and maybe that's why they're considering him the favorite here at -220. D-Rock, do you have a play on the start?
Yeah, I do. It's part of a parlay that I have, so I'll just say one part of it. I think this fight comes down to the feet. Vicente Luque, he's a warrior. I do like him. He's been very competitive. He's been elite for a while in the welterweight division. He has black belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but Luque struggle when he moves very fluently and he gets some trouble along the cage. And you seen in the Bilal fight, I just think in Kevin Holland, he's so good. He's so athletic. You talk about you being an athlete. I just think Holland, second degree black belt, like is Brazilian jiu-jitsu, kung fu as well. He
just doesn't lock in at times, right? That's like the only
that's
downside.
The problem. And he's like he thinks like shit's a game sometimes, and that's what worries me. But I think he understands exactly how to apply the striking in this fight. So I think his problem though comes when it's against heavy grapplers, wrestlers who can clasp onto him, kind of negate his ability to dance around, drag him to the floor, and kind of dominate him. And I just think Vicente Luque, he can't do that here. So I do like Kevin Holland straight up. It's a little chalky, so look for my next. I don't think it's the next play, but it's one of the main card. It's in a parlay, so it's a two-legger. But I do like Vicente Luque. Not Vicente. I do like Kevin Holland.
To get Vicente Luque out of there in the first round. That's my play. I'm going to go all in on Kevin Holland as much as you may have some reluctancy to do so. I don't like what I saw in the prior fights to the Themba Gorimbo fight. Vicente Luque was on the door of retirement. Let's be real about it. And if I think he collects one good shot from Kevin Holland on the chin, I don't think he's going to be able to withstand it. Maybe he has the heart to do so, but the body's natural reaction to these things, when you reach a certain age, it just shuts it off. It closes it to protect the brain. And I just think Kevin Holland's going to have that reach to just land a 1-2 flush. So I think it'll happen in the first round. Give me Holland first round knockout plus 430. Kevin Holland gets Vicente Luque out of there. Now in the bantamweight matchup that we have next off, finally, we get to see Patchy Mix in the UFC, and he gets a good test. Mario Batista's no joke. I think it's a fair kind of debut for him, but they're discounting. They're discrediting Mario Batista and what he's done, who's also on a 7-fight win streak as well as Patchy Mix. But he's plus 160. Batista is, and Patchy Mix is the favorite at minus 160. I was teasing all week, in social media that Mario Batista is a trap here, that if you pick him, you're probably going to get some plus money value because Patchy Mix hasn't, seen the rankings of the UFC, hasn't fought that level of competition. But we argued, you and I, in the past that Patchy Mix might be the best 135er outside the UFC, possibly the best 135er on the planet, regardless. I'd like to see him get Mario Batista out of there and possibly within the first round. I know it's bold for me to say, but I did drop my verdict predictions. All of them were first round finishes. And so I think Patchy Mix climbs the tree. I think if he takes down Mario Batista, he's not going to be afraid to strike. Remember that knee knocked out the Rafion Stotts now. Patchy Mix can knock you out on the feet, but I just feel like if Patchy Mix get Batista to the ground, which is probably a better game plan for him than standing and banging with Batista, who's highly skilled from MMA Lab, training with Sean O'Malley, all those guys, all those strikers there. I think Patchy Mix takes him down, climbs the tree, arm triangle transition to rear naked choke, and chokes him out. Give me Mix on the money line, just in case everything else I said comes to fruition. But I'm going to take that first round sub with him at plus 2,500. You don't think that can happen? Patchy Mix could sub anybody in the first round, and I'm glad to take the plus 2,500.
Yeah, I actually really like this fight here. I read your tweet and I thought it was funny, not in a sense like you're a fucking comedian, but like, I never thought I'd see Patchy Mix in the UFC either. And he's having a long layoff. His last fight was over a year ago, May 2024. 5 rounds. He beat Magomedov in Bellator. When you combine that big of a layoff with the fact that Mix is taking this fight on short notice, I think there is some room of concern when it comes to Patchy Mix. But, he has his girlfriend, Tatiana Suarez, in his corner. I just think his team shows how important this fight is to his career. So I believe he's going to be ready. I expect Mario Batista to move forward and to look kind of overwhelmed with Patchy Mix in the striking. However, I think that pressure is going to lead to Patchy Mix and his implement to the ground game and getting this fight to the mat, working his ground skills. He does have 13 submission wins over his career. I think Patchy Mix is the right side. I don't think he's that chalky. I saw earlier in the week he was like minus 170. He's up to a minus 190 right now. I like via decision, but sprinkling a little, taking a shot in the dark via submission at plus 200. I think it's on the table, kid.
Yeah, I do. A year, break. There's, no such thing as cage rust, and bro's surely rested and healthy to go. So I think this could be a great fight. I do. And that's why I took him on the money line, because that first round is a long shot for me. Obviously, the odds indicate that. I think that could possibly contend for fight of the night, that one. Yeah. So let's go into what is the featured bout. I see, it's a middleweight matchup. We're supposed to have this a couple months ago in Mexico, right? Kelvin Gastelum is big dog price, plus 315, taking on Joe Bodybags Pyfer at minus 350. D-Rock, take us away.
Yeah, we're getting a big number on Joe Pyfer KO prop. I think the reason has to be the durability of Kelvin Gastelum here. However, it has been a minute since Kelvin Gastelum has faced a middleweight with these heavy hands that Joe Pyfer has. So in that time, I do think he's taken a bit of damage. So the play is using the assumption I think he's going to finally be the first one to put out Kelvin Gastelum on the feet. So I'm going to take Joe Pyfer via here, KO TKO at plus 280.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm taking it one step further. I'm going with the first round KO TKO at plus 725. A lot of people are underestimating this card. It's in New Jersey. You look at the matchups, you may be disappointed about what we're getting, but man, these fighters can knock out a lot of guys, can submit a lot of guys. That could surprise us and make this one of the most entertaining cards in UFC history after what we just experienced last week. That's what I'm hoping and praying for. So, yeah, Joe Pyfer is massive. Kevin Gastelum is a welterweight who's fighting at middleweight and has been for his entire career. Joe Pyfer could possibly even fight at heavyweight, light heavyweight. Like, this dude is that big, and he's fast, and he can wrestle, and like he does have that one touch knockout power, like you mentioned. So, yeah, I think if Kelvin Gastelum doesn't, occupy space properly with his boxing and possible, combinations of the takedowns, if he starts getting denied there, if Joe Pyfer's landing, I don't think Kelvin Gastelum's going to stay there much. He's older in the age, and yeah, I think Joe Pyfer's power will prevail. So I'm going to stick, and I'm going one step further with your knockout prop, taking the first round knockout prop at plus 725.
Got a comment in the comment section. Adam, no, we just don't do UFC picks. We do all MMA, boxing, WWE as well. A little later on the show, Joey does have BKFC as well, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, that's a whole different sport. You can't consider that just boxing. It's bare knuckle boxing.
Bare.
So changes everything. Let's go into the UFC Women's Bantamweight Championship, which is in the co-main event slot. The chief support, as D-Rug likes to refer to it as, and I know where D-Rock's already going, man. We have the champ, Juliana Pena, plus 550. Plus 550 for the champ? I mean, how much more disrespectful can it be? But it's up who she's up against. It's Kayla Harrison, world judoka champion, two-time, right? A minus 650 favorite here. Finally makes 135 championship weight. She's ready.
Shout
to
out
go.
her nutritionist.
Yeah, shout out nutrition. Shout out for her hard work. I mean, she's got the chickens on the farm, the emus. She's in there training, and she went through hell to make that 135. My theory on the matter is that, we argued, I even made a post about it, that is Juliana Pena victorious going to call out and pull out Amanda Nunes from retirement? I think even if Pena, I think if Pena wins, though, I don't think there's anything to prove for Nunes there. But if Kayla Harrison does become victorious, I think that's where Amanda Nunes may come out of retirement.
She lost to her. They want to run the trilogy.
The only loss Kayla Harrison has ever suffered from Larsa Prochenko. Remember that?
Yeah.
But so what? Amanda Nunes beat her back, so she's already to accomplish that. Everyone
in a decision. My girl Juliana choked her fucking out.
Yeah, that's fine and all well. But GSP got his licks back, right? All the greatest we talked about, they all get their victories back, and so that's my point. Let Juliana Pena keep clamoring for it, and it may never come to fruition. Like that's my point there. So I'm hoping for Amanda Nunes to come back, and I think Kayla Harris is a handful to deal with. I think she's just a powerhouse. I think she's gonna go in there like a bull, and I think she's gonna prove Juliana Pena's mouth completely wrong. She's speaking way too highly than her skills could present. So Harrison via submission is a play of mine at plus 185. I do think that the submission will come one point of the fight, but I'm gonna go hunker down. Like I said, I got all these first round finishes for the main event. I'm taking a first round submission from Kayla Harrison. As soon as she takes down Juliana Pena, it's game over. Plus 750 on the first round submission for Kayla Harrison.
I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for anyone who backs you as well. They said the same thing about Juliana Pena when she was going up against Amanda Nunes. Oh, your mouth is too big. Your mouth is too big. Stood toe to toe with her. The lioness, as people say, the greatest, huh? Fucking choked her stupid ass out. Amanda Nunes is going to be right there front and center, no matter who. I think we could both agree on that. She will be right there, and I don't think, regardless who wins, Kayla or Juliana, she's going to come back. She's already said it during the press conference. She said, I want to come back. She had a chance to do motherhood a little bit, but, being at minus 650, not the best, but that implies 13.2% for Pena to win. No math guy. But if you genuinely think she only has a 13% chance of winning, lobotomy. You need to be
euthanized.
Tested. Yeah. I get why Kayla Harrison is the favorite. I mean, 2-time Olympic gold medal winner in judo is ridiculous.
Just look at her.
She's ridiculous how good she is. She's talented. She's strong. She has the ability to finish. Well-rounded. But that's exactly what I consider Juliana Pena to be as well. She is a junkyard dog, and I mean that in the most respectful way. She's mean. She's well-conditioned.
Compliment.
JYD. And she's a tough as a fucking $3 steak. Brought up kickboxing. She's super talented. She's intelligent.
She's honoring her Apache roots with her her kit gear.
She has grit. She's nasty. and I think she's gonna overwhelm Kayla on the feet.
The
I
fight
just
goes
watched.
past 3 rounds. It favors Juliana big time.
Yeah, and I just didn't like the way Kayla Harrison looked after that difficult cut. Whether she wants to admit it or not, give her credit. She makes the weight, but she does not look good when she makes it. So let's see how the rehydration
X factor
does.
as well, before you give your pick, was that if Kayla Harrison wins this fight, they're not cutting her back down to 135. They're going to have Amanda Nunes her fight at 145 to introduce a new belt or reintroduce it.
I mean, she never lost that belt.
There you go.
So I don't know. I just don't think we could simply overlook Juliana Pena.
This
here
is
to win
ridiculous.
this
Yeah,
fight.
she's.
13
I'm disrespecting her as well. I can't.
minus 650 implements a 13%. Just think about that. 13%. She was a bigger underdog against Amanda Nunes, and she shocked the world. One of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the biggest upsets I've ever seen in my life.
Is that the biggest of all time still, number-wise?
In my lifetime of watching the sport, but
That was pretty crazy.
Juliana Pena and fucking still.
All in. You don't even have to take anything but money line. And is she a parlay prop?
Oh yeah, so yeah, thank you. How'd you know?
I had a feeling because you had
So over 4.5 rounds and Kevin Holland on the money line. That is going to be my parlay of the night. Let me get you the odds for that right now. So over 4.5 rounds plus the minus 236 plus 270.
Oh, that's great. That's great to milk that. After dealing with all the chalk. Yeah, that's a great call.
And after Kayla Harrison has to deal with all those fucking jabs to the face.
I can't breathe. That's what happens. Just like Nick back in the day. He just went,
you gotta believe.
What, bitch? And he just, if you saw Protect Our Parks, Joe Rogan, he was just like, what, bitch? Just throwing 50% shot. Right to the body. Whap to the body. And maybe that's Julia Pena follows. We'll see.
As Met fans, what do we have to do?
Believe.
Gotta believe.
So we've done it. We've made it to the main event of UFC 316, hosted at The Rock, Brick City. Everything we talked about for months on, it's all at rest. It all matters what you do inside that octagon. And Merab has beaten Sean O'Malley before, and pretty much a shutout loss, right? Last time we saw it was pretty much 5 rounds to none. I think we argued. Sean could look back at the image and say that he's won some rounds, but I think we all can come to the conclusion that Merab
had one good moment with that kick.
Yeah. So the reason being, he's been dominant. Umar made him look human. I mean, Merab has hit a new level becoming champion. The gas tank hasn't gone anywhere. He still is the machine. He still has all the energy. He still is a beast. And that's why he's getting the minus 265 favorite, as he should. There's way more disrespect going towards Juliana with those odds than there ever has been for Merab. But Sean O'Malley, is he 2.0 here? At plus 250, we got to see if he believes that he's going to be a better fighter, if he can actually put that down. Like I said, in the center of the octagon, man, I got to go for it, brother. I got to go and take Sean O'Malley to save the UFC here, because as much as I do like, as much as I like Merab myself, I don't know. You talk to some of the fans around here and see the opinions you get. All you get is hate. So I'm going to take Sean O'Malley on the money line at plus 250, and I'm going to hunker down. Like I said, every main card pick that I've had, first time in history, or first round finishes, and so I'm taking Sean O'Malley with the first round KO, TKO at plus 1600, taking the long shot here, connecting on shots, knees, no upward elbows. Remember, we're not following the new unified rule set. We're taking the old one into Newark, so we'll see how that affects things. No knees to the grounded opponent, all that. It's just troublesome. Sean O'Malley gets taken down and gets held there. It's pretty much over in the first. So yeah, it's either that Sean O'Malley is going to catch him in the first, or it's already going to be over. So which way are you going to take it? I'm willing to take the chance, and that's what I'm going to do.
I had a question. What do you mean if you ask around, people don't like? I was confused by your question.
Yeah, you got more people concerned about the health of the numbers that the Merab champion can pull in if he continues to win. It's basically, I forgot the phrase. I can't think of it right now.
Well, they make
people
it real
hate
quick.
Greatness, right? People hate greatness. They get tired of it. You see Tom Brady win all this time. You see then you just start hating that person. And so that's the thing. You see Merab continually win and nothing changes, and you just grow fatigue. So that's kind of what you get. It's like, I would rather just have another type of champion than that guy. So that's basically what I was getting.
Yeah, I guess the same thing we could I could relate it to the NBA Finals. 2 small market teams, and people say, "Oh, the ratings. I'm not gonna watch it."
But they've been clamoring for a small market finals, and they finally get it. And
Well,
we're never happy, are we? We're all fickle.
Real quick, I don't give a fuck. What I don't watch sports, Joe.
What the hell?
Fighting, baseball, basketball, football. I don't give a fuck about ratings. I watch it because I genuinely enjoy it. And all those people saying online, miserable people, "Oh, I'm not going to watch the finals." It was an amazing game last night, and people fucking watched it. So you're going to watch Merab, and you're going to like it, and there's nothing you could fucking do about it. You too, because I know you and all your friends down there in the Carolinas hate greatness. They hate Merab. You want to see color hair Sean O'Malley win the belt back, yada, yada, yada. He's changed his life. Like our good friend, legend Ricky Gonzalez said, "I don't give a hoot." Give me Merab Dvalishvili via decision at -150. You got to go with the champ here. The main reason I think is just I can't see Sean O'Malley. I can't see him making enough adjustments to keep the wrestling, the cardio of Merab at bay and off the scorecards. Joey, you and I have wrestled majority of our growing up. You know how much wrestling you have to do to try to compete at an all-time level like Merab? You
and
can't
bro
just
stepped away from the sport to compete in sambo and got the silver medal.
So I don't know. I'm not going to pay the 270. He's a massive favorite for a reason. I think it should be a closer fight. I don't dislike Sean O'Malley. I think he's great actually for the sport. I'm a fan. We met him. He's a great guy. He actually complimented my outfit. I love Sean O'Malley. I actually have a signed picture from him. I am a fan of Sean O'Malley. I just think there are levels to it. And I think there's a whole different division he could go to after he loses here. He could go to 145. He doesn't have to cut much his weight. I think it goes all 5 rounds. Maybe it's a little closer where Sean wins a round or 2, but I just think that the difference is, and I want to compare it to the last pay-per-view that we saw, Bilal not going away from his game plan. Merab is going to shoot 500 times. He's not going to shoot 7, 8 times. Like, he's going to shoot and shoot and shoot. And like you said, unless Sean catches him,
that's it.
It's over for you.
Exactly.
So I think he's one of the best bantamweights I've ever seen. I wanted to ask you, obviously I'm going with Merab via decision at -150, but I wanted to ask you before we move on to boxing. Is he the greatest bantamweight?
No.
Who is?
Dominic Cruz, though.
What more does Merab have to do?
I don't know. Finish somebody.
I just think
you
don't like him.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I just think you don't like him.
I love Merab. What are you talking about? And that's the thing. Your friends and boys and girls up north are the ones that are going to the fucking fight. I have no Southerners down here that like that curly-haired fuck. Everyone down here is fucking like, oh, he's a faggot. He's a weird dude. Sean O'Malley. Nobody likes him down here. I might actually be the only oddball that's kind of rooting for him. But I just want to mix it up, you know?
I get that. I'm saying, does Sean... I guess finishing ability, I get it's style points for you to get the title fight and for you to move up in the rankings. But what if you're already at the top? Do you really need style points?
No, absolutely not. If anything, I would.
So that's my question. So that's my question to you.
If anything, I would model my fight style like Merab.
So that was my question. So why does he need to finish fights to pass Dominic Cruz?
Yeah. To make himself more popular. I don't know. You know, it just like it helps the sport more.
But should it be a popularity test?
It shouldn't, but I think there's a natural reaction as humans to get excitement. I think
that's fair.
We'll be drowned out of the sport if all we see for the rest of eternity is decisions. There'll be no point in watching it because I think what's made the sport exciting is the least expected. And the least expected thing here is Sean knocking Merab out. I think the most expecting thing is the Merab to dominate. So I'm going for the opposite. I think I'm just.
I get that. And I just think. Yeah, and I get that. And
I'm going to get burned. I know I'm going to get burned in some of these.
Well, I just don't think effective grappling. We talk about effective grappling. I don't think it gets the respect that it deserves.
Oh, and I'm biased towards my grapplers. You could dominate.
That's my thing. Yeah. All casuals and people on the street that I talk to are really not entrenched into the UFC. They're like, oh, I hope Sean knocks him out. All they're wanting is a knockout. But do you really see Umar and Merab? That is the highest level of effective grappling, and it's not appreciated. And I think that's kind of that's a shame. Yeah, it's a shame. So Joe, good luck.
Best of luck. Yeah, because I'm gonna get burned. Yo, I got a parlay. I got a parlay for you.
Yeah,
Fuck,
yeah,
if
let me
you
hear
want to throw all 5 first-round finishes together, $1 wins you 165,000. So
Ready to retire.
ready to retire. I
Um,
talked to my boy Drew, who had the
Oh,
he had the damn the finals. He had the NHL finals, the NFL you know what I'm talking about? He had all that.
yeah,
I
and
told
he's
him
down to
cash out, and he's down
100,000.
to 100,000. He should do it now. I said do it while you're at 120, but
Thunder in 5.
we like to learn the hard way.
Yeah, that's what Sherry says. Sometimes people have to learn the hard way. Real quick though, fuck, I was gonna ask you something.
About
Oh
UFC.
yeah. I was gonna say yes. Good luck. I hope you win all your bets except the main event and co-main. I don't care if I go 2 and something. I just want to win those two.
Those two. I love it.
Kid, why don't you bring us into the Fabio Wardley fight? We got boxing going
Oh
on this
shit!
weekend.
Yeah, might as well talk about that one. I think that's like being the most uneventful, like or least appreciated one, you know, because you got so much. You got Nakatani, you got Davis, but yeah, Fabio Wardley is like a slept-on heavyweight fighter. It is for the interim belt between Justice Honey.
Yeah.
Honey's good, man. I've seen him knocked out opponents in sparring, and granted at sparring, but he's looked good in the professional level. He's getting out there. I think what works to get them against him is fighting as many rounds, right? Fabio Wardley has fought him, but hasn't really had to have gone there. Big dude with a lot of knockout power. Interim WBA World Heavyweight title stakes are high right here. I don't think a loss will deter Huni as much as it would Wardley. So I think Wardley's, you know, the experience and what he's kind of fighting for at the moment, I think could definitely win him the fight. But don't doubt Honey. He, like I said, he can knock people down and to get some value out of Wardley, if you're going to take him, I got Wardley to be knocked down, but to win the fight at plus 1,000. So, yeah, give some respect to Justice Honey at plus 260 because he's no joke, and I think the odds should be a little closer. But Fabio Wardley at minus 275, I think, is the right side.
Yeah, nothing here, but I got plays in the other boxing fights for you.
Yeah, brother. You know, if you wanted to go right into it, you got Jai Opetaia. If we're going to stay talking about the Gold Coast athletes, he's putting his IBF cruiserweight title on the line, taking on Claudio Squeo. The Italian is plus 1,700. Jai Opetaia, how could you get minus 5,000 value? How could you get it? This is what I did. I looked at Claudio Squeo, and he's fought absolute clans his entire career. He's like 5'10" on a good day. Opetaia is like 6'4" with like almost 80-inch reach, and he's got vicious knockout power. Yeah. I think Claudio Squeo is going to go in there because he likes to close the distance, and he's going to have to close that range gap. And I think he's going to get caught and knocked out within 60 seconds. I think he's going to finish within the first minute. Let's get that minus 5,000 down all the way to plus 2,300. So Opetaia to win in the first 60 seconds.
I hate going against our Italian, our blood. He is undefeated, but he's first cats, like Joe said. And Opetaia, he is a powerful, dynamic in both hands. I really think. And as soon as he lands clean on one of those whiskers of that Italian stallion, it's gonna be lights out. Yeah, it's bad. Big favorite for a reason, but I'm gonna take him to win via knockout in rounds 1 through 4. So I'll spread it out a little bit.
It's like minus 2, right? It's like minus 140 or something.
Yeah, it was like minus 145, minus 150. I got.
Yeah, that's 1 through 4 rounds. Yeah, that's surprising to see that.
It's because his hands are fucking bricks.
Registered, bro.
Registered. All right, what else?
We'll go to the WBC and IBF World Bantamweight title. You want to talk Nakatani and Nishida? Yeah. I think it's a great match. I think people are sleeping on Nishida because there's a reason he has that IBF World belt. You know, he's definitely competent. Obviously, the amount of fights he has isn't up to the 30 that Nakatani has. I do see Nakatani knocking him down, but Nishida, if you've seen some of his fights, man, he can get that volume, and I think he could gain some points. And it's just whether or not the judges are going to give that 1 round bonus to Nakatani to win the fight. So it'll be a split or a unanimous for Nakatani that you can get that 800 down in value. Obviously, you can play Nishida straight up on the money line at plus 650. They're counting him out entirely, but I got something else for you. Like I said, if Nakatani does knock him down, but he starts to fade as it gets a little bit later, most of his fights, he gets fighters out of there. I think past 7-8 rounds, Nishida starts piling it on a little bit. I got a surprise for you. That knockdown and then Nishida winning majority rounds could get you a draw. And, you know, I think that's a play of mine. I'm going to go with the draw here in this fight. You lose neither guy's stock. It can delay the inevitable Nakatani and Inoue fight. So, I think it's a possibility here. You know how the dirty, corrupt judges are. So let's do the draw at plus 2,000 in this
Wow.
bantamweight matchup.
Yeah,
here.
big favorite. I think he gets the knockout though. The power advantage. I just think his opponent lacks. How do you pronounce it? Nishida?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rasuke Nishida, I'm pretty sure.
Nishida. I just don't think he has the power to threat to even come close to Nakatani. So I do think it goes later in the fight. I do think it goes rounds at least 6, 7, maybe go to the scorecards. But I think Nakatani, he does get the win by knockout with his pressure, his power, and eventually I think he's just going to overwhelm the guy. So yeah, I'm going to take the undefeated champ. Give me Nakatani here.
Tenshin Nasukawa on there. A couple names, but if we move right on to the top rank card, where Keyshawn Davis was not living up to his nickname. His nickname's the businessman. Bro was not professional missing weight there, unfortunately. And they gave him in his own hometown. But
Norfolk.
We love Edwin De Los Santos. It's a military town too. I like Edwin De Los Santos. I think the power from Keyshawn Davis could be a little bit of a factor because Edwin De Los Santos, he fought Shakur, and there's not much of a power threat coming from there. But he's been able to make it to the judges a lot in his career, and so let's go with Keyshawn Davis here, man. I got to take him via decision, though. I think at plus 110, it's a good bet. Actually, I think that's unanimous decision because I think it's favored if you just take him via decision. So it's the businessman via unanimous decision at plus 110 because I don't know if the power will come into play. Edwin De Los Santos has been, like I said, able to avoid it and stay and get out and get to the judges. I don't know if he's going to ever be able to win. I think he'll be down pretty much 11 rounds. He might win a round, but yeah, let's take the plus 110 from the businessman.
Yeah, definitely Santos is a tough. He's talented. He's shown he could go the distance with Shakur Stevenson, with big names as opponents as well. But, over a year on the sidelines facing an active, hungry, well, I was going to say champion. He's not a champion anymore because he missed weight. But I just think that's hard. The inactivity kind of stayed me away from Santos. I do think Keyshawn Davis is the better fighter. I'm going to take Keyshawn Davis to be the first man to stop Santos at plus 175.
I like it, man. So
even though he can't win the
that's
title.
all I'm seeing for boxing. I mean, that card though, that top rank card's loaded. Abdullah Mason's no joke. Kelvin Davis is undefeated. Troy Isley. There's a lot of studs. Keon Davis, I've been on about
his whole family's fighting on the card.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say so. Derek Davis, Keon Davis, and like you said, Kelvin Davis along with Keyshawn Davis. All the K Davises. How about that?
Yeah, gotta love it. All right, kid, let's get to some news before we get up out of here. UFC making their 4th year appearance back in the Accor Arena, UFC Paris, for a fight night September 6th. Who would you rather have headline? BSD taking on Matus Gamrot or Cyril Gane taking on Tom Aspinall?
Yeah, I was gonna say for the interim belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny Bones does whatever he wants.
He does. He should. Goat does what Goat wants. But the arena was electric last time they were in Paris, so I'm glad that they're going back there. We got a really good one, UFC 318, July 19th, in the Bayou. Patricio Pitbull taking on 50K Dan Ige.
Nice, yeah.
You like that fight?
Winnable fight for Pitbull, but don't sleep on 50K.
No.
That would be great if Danny Ige knocks him the fuck out.
Oh my god! And he talked all this shit.
You would have a wet stream. I know you would. You love Danny Ige.
I love Danny Ige. Got a great fight here, I think, for the Apex. UFC Vegas 109, August 9th. Alex Perez taking on Steve Erceg. Your boy, Steve Erceg.
Hey, my boy.
You like Steve Erceg.
Astro Boy is probably going to win. Yeah.
Really?
Alex Perez shocks us again. I mean, that's the type of dude that, right? He just out of nowhere.
He's the type that shocks everyone.
Just wins after a 7-fight losing streak.
Got a great fight, UFC 319, August 16th in Chicago. Chase Hooper taking on Alexander Hernandez. A nice step up in competition for Chase Hooper.
Yeah, Alex is going to bring it, right?
Yeah.
But I like the eyes for Chase Hooper in Chicago there. I think that's a great location for him to get a fight night, and I think his advantage is on the ground. I think this is the type of fight we haven't seen it too much, but I think he should try to get it to the mat and try to sub Alex Hernandez because, like I said, Alex is going to bring it, and Chase could easily stay on the feet, but all it takes is one, I think, with Alex Hernandez. We've seen it before.
Yeah. Should be a good one, though. I'm glad he's getting another pay-per-view spot. Boxing note, Vicente Lemachenko, he has retired 396-1 as an amateur. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 3-weight world champion. What a career for Lomachenko. Yeah, gotta give it up. He's a legend.
He deserves it. Yeah, it's time. It was time.
Unfortunately, we did have some news. It was Lopez, David Haney, and Timofey Lopez. It was targeted for August 16th in Riyadh. Negotiations have collapsed, and the fight between them is off. Are you surprised?
No.
Boxing's
dead. No.
If they did fight, who would you favor? Timofey.
Yeah, I hate to say it though, because I feel like he's rubbed me the wrong way, and some of his performances have been lackluster. But yeah, I think you'd have to go with Lopez. I do like the guy. I do like him.
All right, kid. Let's finish this up. BKFC, 10 seconds left. 75. What do you got?
In Albuquerque, it's headlined by Dave Mundell. He's a -335 favorite, taking on the competent Donald Sanchez at +235. I got to go with the redneck. I mean, he's going to get this job done. It's going to be, inside the distance, more likely, knockout. Donald Sanchez is tough, but I don't know. I think with a finish here, redneck gets his fight with Mike Perry, and I think that's a big one for the BKFC ranks.
Fight. Yeah, it's a big fight. Joe, good luck. We got a hell of a weekend. We got the Belmont Stakes. We got UFC 316.
Super regionals of baseball.
Super regionals. We got NBA finals, NHL. Oh, we're locked and loaded. Fucking,
I gotta have 16 screens up.
Yeah, we need it. Well, enjoy the fights. Good luck with all your bets, and we will talk to you guys on Friday. Peace.